Okay, thank you for watching here on YouTube live at Blooming Lights. If you're logging in live, it's actually September the 9th. It's Tuesday, September the 9th, 2025, and it is approximately 4:19 p.m. Central Standard Time in the United States of America in Southeast Texas, specifically Beaumont, Texas. Okay, we're going to bypass all intros and disclaimers. Please just visit the home page, okay, post, community post, things of that nature, okay? To get the gist, if you happen to be new to the channel, this is a collective reading. And just so you all know, I'm not a traditional reader, okay? So no, I'm not really a traditional tarot reader, utilizing those things, but I do not read that way. And so if you're leaning more into traditions and stuff, then chances are you're on the wrong channel, okay? But this is the collectives that are targeted individuals, these honorable feminines. So if you're wondering what is HF, HF is standing for honorable feminine. And it's because I'm trying to change languages. I'm catching myself every day the best I can. It's annoying and it's frustrating, but I am trying to clear out all of the things in which I myself have done unknowingly to myself, okay? And others just by the language and the frequency that's connected to it, with the trickery of the English language. So no qualms to those of us that are still out there on yeah, they're trying it right now, huh? And that shit is ricocheting. I can feel just, like the tickle sensations, but I can tell, I know what they're doing. And since I came live, they're doing something. I could tell, but it's ricocheting because there's things put in place like, stop, you're really ruining yourself. You're really about to kill yourself here and your people. But whatever, let them have it. Let them have fun. Let them go ahead and curse their bloodline. So again, this is a situation, on a collective scale where the honorable feminines have had their relatives and their exes come, team up to basically steal from these women, but set them up using their information. Now, I've told you guys, those of you who have followed me over the years, if you go back in some of my content, your chances are you're going to run into it. You'll find it if you dig, okay? And I tell the stories about how, the way I grew up in the family structure and stuff, people use your stuff without your permission. And it's an entitlement to who you are. It's just yet another form of narcissism. It's another form of entitlement to who you are. And if, my siblings had, allowed their children, basically, their adult children, to use my information in Las Vegas, Nevada, to get, utilities and so forth, many things on, unbeknownst to me. Okay, I know that that's something common people do, but usually it's with the permission, co-signer or the permission of the person, and the person is aware of it. And I wasn't. And all of this stuff was put onto my credit, obviously. Now, I've stayed with extended family members, collective, maybe as this pertains to you, you did too at some juncture. So they had access to your mail. They had access to your personal information, documentation, that of your children. And from there, the ploy was to remember, this has always been about trying to get the collective caught up. Okay, there's been several plans in motion to to basically to inhibit the collective. Okay, to inhibit them from forward movement so that they can step into their destiny or get anything and everything that belongs to them, as well as just good old-fashioned revenge. Okay? Good old-fashioned revenge. So what happened with all of that, what happened with all of that is, you know, especially if there was any relatives that looked similar to the collective, okay, especially as they embark about getting surgeries and so forth. So in order to appear smaller, according to where the collective was at these junctures, to look more similar to that, then they use that information and their connects with people who are corrupt in order to possibly even create IDs. This thing is elaborate, but there was crimes committed, white collar crimes, several white collar crimes committed by the Honorable Feminine's relatives and some of their exes and whomever else they brought in to get involved. Okay, in order to get the Honorable Feminines arrested for something that they did not do. Okay, that was the ultimate plan. It was to steal from them. It was all sorts of reasons, even possibly to get a property or an inheritance. Okay, but it was definitely with the hopes of ruining their credit, first and foremost, their credit, their reputation, because they're doing all this stuff, but then hopefully to get them arrested for crimes that they actually did not commit. The relatives always had information on the collective. Mail was going to their homes. They then, since they've been watching and stalking, so then they connect with various different exes that had problems with the collective and that did not have a problem with breaking the law. And, they would either get these people to steal from the collective, to steal their IDs, to steal money, you name it, okay? This is what's been going on. And guess what? All behind the scene. And guess what? All these individuals, for all intensive purposes, to everybody else, they look like they're these healed. Look, they don't want me to say it. Woo, I know I'm on point. I know I'm on point. They don't want me to say it. For all intensive purposes, these people look like they are sugar pie honey bun. They look and sound and talk and act and conduct and behave like I said, most of them claim Christianity, or they're just acting like they're just so sweet and they're this and that, and so it's a bunch of bullshit. It is a bunch of fucking bullshit, okay? And they did this. I have the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck that says, can't stand to see you happy, okay? Watch this. They can't stand to see you happy. Two of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Six of Swords, it says feminine realizes that no one can stop her, not even through heartache. Okay, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Six of Wands, feminine's elevated spiritual ranking. She passed a test. Eight of Wands, entities that they summoned are starting to get angry with them. So this was collaborative to cause losses because they couldn't stand, as it says here, Two of Wands, can't stand to see the collective happy. They couldn't stand to see you happy. And then I glanced over and it says to all the haters. So they didn't like that, even though, they had already did a whole lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it just got more elaborative. Some of you, there's exes that know each other that don't like you. This could be, again, these could be NPCs. This could be, people who don't like you or somebody that they felt maybe was beneath them. So you're not somebody that they, could accept you holding a boundary, or could accept you maybe telling about what people have done to you. They thought you would just cry somewhere in secret and just be sad. And so that's why this thing has continued to escalate, escalate, and escalate. This is also why they keep trying to get some of you in trouble, okay? You got relatives and exes that have definitely used your information to do some white collar crime for sure. And they definitely use variances of your name, okay? Aliases, and some of the tail signs is in the details if you pay attention, okay? And once again, to get you caught up, to get you put in jail, okay? And now it has escalated. Those of you who maybe you relocated someplace far and you don't really do a lot or enough, and it makes it more challenging to do, this is why they're trying to force it. So they'll trump up some bogus shit, you know what I'm saying? Add some rando schmando, with their coven, by the way, with some rando schmando store, okay, accusing you of something that you know full well you didn't do, and if any investigation were to go into it, would prove it, okay? As well as they keep trying to get you, triggered enough to where you're going to do something, like you're gonna steal, or you're gonna attempt to fight somebody, or you're gonna start stalking somebody because they won't leave you alone. Like, they're doing everything under the sun to try to get you either sick, imprisoned, something. And they've been doing this. But this is a big deal here, because what happens is this person, whoever was the leader of the pact, what they did is followed y'all to whatever that state is, and they created a coven. They created a community of like-minded individuals to be willing to agree to do these things to you, while they get to go off back to the state that they actually are from, and hide this from everybody, and then go to church and talk about Jesus with you for 5 hours, and how much they love the collective, and how much they're so how much they're so worried about the collective. Meanwhile, you just as stupid. You don't even know what the fuck is going on. That the motherfuckers try. They're criminals and shit. And see, some of they niggas know it. See, some of them stupid. Some of these motherfuckers out here stupid. Okay? But some of they niggas know it. Because some of them remember some stuff. They know the motherfuckers are crook. And would use their own people's shit. Okay? Again, this is the relatives of the Honorable Feminine. Feminine has an adopted brother that experienced something similar with their information by the mother. Yes, he did. Now, he may not say anything at this point, but it's something he definitely did experience. And if he hadn't literally damn near threatened her with pressing charges and jail time, she wouldn't have paid him back. Okay, just for the record. So this is not something that is beneath these people in this collective reading. This is something they have patterns of doing, using people's information trashing it, using it without their permission, lying about it, hiding it, and denying it, and then simultaneously try to act like the person ain't responsible. Ain't that about a bitch? Somebody out here crooking and got the nerve to have their nose up in the air. Acting like they not responsible. They took on a whole identity. They got surgeries, bitch. So they can come off looking like, you know what I'm saying? So when they committing these crimes, then it, you know, you see what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be too jaunting. I mean, that's the perfect crime. The perfect crime is to get someone, preferably and so they wanted to torture you in this isolated island because the reason why that happens is so they paid people. This is why people don't like you. People don't like you not because they have legitimate reasons to not like you. That's not what this is. People are hating on y'all, being weird, odd, and strange, and, you know, intruding and doing all sorts of shit to some of y'all. It ain't because they truly got a real problem. I mean, the problem they may have is you talking about it, telling about it, in whatever way they may be triggered, maybe. But in truth, they really don't. They don't have a problem with you. It's the coven, their headmaster, that they are under the control of, okay? And their influence, and their spells that they're running on them, because they are under spells, every last one of them in this state that's fucking with her. Yes, they are, nigga. If you in the coven with them, don't think that the bitch ain't gonna put some shit on YouTube. Are you special? Did you just get off the short yellow bus? If they are into that shit, then that should give you enough information to know that since this is something that they do, chances are it's something that they do to their members. That ain't hard. You ain't even gotta be a genius. Try to keep you under control. Now, and that's exactly what they've done in this collective reading. They went to that said state. They knew nobody wouldn't know. The rest of the family, extended friends and family, and everybody everywhere else that's not directly tied to any of it, they knew that no one would know. They would think, oh, look at the collective, poor old collective. They're just off out there and, you know, wooty woo. Oh, they just got out there. They left their covering and or whatever bullshit talk people be on. And they connected with all these people over the last however many years you all have been where you are. And this is why things have been so difficult and challenging and unnecessarily so, and you couldn't wrap your fingers around it. You didn't even deal with enough people to have that many damn problems. Like all of those things where you're like, I'm not even involved enough. Like for me to have this kind of shit, I shouldn't have to be involved. I'm not involved enough to have this kind of hate. I'm not involved enough. And so this is what they did. And these people agreed. So some of these people could have participated, like I said, in various things, making bogus reports, bogus, accusations, and one thing and another to continue to try to get you looked at a certain way and to get you caught up and just to make your life once again, to make it restricted, limited, and unnecessarily challenging. They paid the people to do these things so that they could look clear. Because look, every time folks will ask questions or go online and see any of you out there collective, if this is you and you see this and you are a content creator, they'll then turn around and say, what are you talking about? Because they know people don't be, them motherfuckers is under spells, bitch. Okay, they're under spells. And some of them are too damn old. They old. They old and ailing. Okay? So they know that. Ain't nobody going, they're going to be like, oh, see, they're tripping. They're crazy. I told you. I told you. Look, see, they've lost it. Look, I told you how. I don't even know where they're at. I mean, I know now because they're saying online, but look, I'm here. What? How could that be? I don't know anybody. Yeah, they about to find out differently. That's why they're already under investigation. They already being looked at. And people who fuck with them. Once again, a violation. The collective already know that that's what they people been on long before it even escalated to something like this. So in other words, if you had mail going to any of their houses and you never, because of all of the shits that you were going through, when you may have stayed there, you've had mail there, and they purposefully did not get that information to you, or they could have made some fake forward some shit and then paid those people to intercept it. So it could look like they attempted to contact you. They attempted to forward some information to so they can get that receipt, and then they just went to this state, these cities, and connected with these people and essentially bought them. And it's easy to do. It's very easy to do, especially youngsters. Very easy to do. And this is essentially what they have done. And they partnered with your ex's collective. And, to do so. So let's get a little bit more here. Oh, wrong one. Denver, Colorado is coming out. Denver. How many Brandy Holloways is in Los Angeles, Philadelphia, San Pedro, North Carolina? I will keep moving forward on my journey. Restored balance, keep going, attention to detail. So these people, you know, as you all attempted to keep moving forward with this angel number 4, representing again family, foundation, you know, marriage, stability, some would say twin flames, but these people did not like that, and they have been persistent and incessant on continuing to move forward with these plans here. Yeah, it says, we'll lose homes, cars, and children. So these people could have been a part of trying to make you lose everything. You could have lost stuff constantly as you were connected. Okay, they could have been a part of why there's been so much loss. And then some of them started losing shit. Okay, they started losing shit, but not connecting the dots. That they started losing shit, but instead of just looking at it like, oh, that's because we fucked up motherfuckers, or maybe this is being pushed back to us or mirrored back to us because it's our profession to cause people to lose their homes and cars and children. So maybe, just maybe, it's just our turn, because this is the life we live. They didn't look at it like that. They got pissed about some of their losses that they are responsible for. And yeah. Yes, they did. They decided to pile on, baby. Look, it says no regard for your children. These people did not. That's what I'm saying, y'all. These people out here in the universe just as dumb. They just as dumb as they want to be. And with all due respect, okay, I'm just gonna have to say it like that. All due respect to y'all, but you two surface. With all due respect, because you can't even discern. You can't even discern, like, this is the kind of shit these motherfuckers are on. Some of you too pussy whipped, you too dick whipped, you too, you know what I'm saying? You can't even process. Can't even discern past their hallelujah, glory, glory. Okay, no regard. Okay, then it says no accountability. Didn't I say it? It says no accountability whatsoever, but they're trying to hold the collective accountable for something. Once again, this is the definition of hypocrisy, double standards, you name it. People that don't follow the rules, but then want to hold you to a rule. They're breaking rules by illegally surveillancing you, using your information. Criminal law, fuck just a rule. I mean, they're going to whole other levels. Okay, trying to cause physical, you know, alterations and harms to you and your children, and got the nerve to want to, nigga, to want to hold somebody accountable to a rule. Nigga, bitch, you a criminal. Do you understand that? Is it registering for you as you are trying to hold somebody accountable to a rule while you put poison in their food? Is this registering in that upstairs noggin? As you're stalking and illegally surveillancing and using fusion apps, is it registering in that noggin? It ain't. It ain't. It says, we'll lose license to practice. Ooh, I wonder, what do they practice? Because why it says license to practice? Usually that terminology is only used like license to practice. That's That's usually used for like a law or a medical. License to practice, license to practice. Or, you know, or it could be like the beauty industry, like if they did hair. But I mean, anyway, somebody is going to lose their license to practice. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. Oh, so for some of you, you tried to talk to some of these people. I was trying to see what is this right here. And it was heavy projection. It says, yeah, some of y'all sincerely along this path, whenever this rests for you, you tried to like talk to people. You know, they you tried. You really did. You tried to talk, explain, and these people are not there. It says no real human compassion or empathy, or they just bypass everything you said. And it's such a very cold and dry, dead. And that's kind of some of the clues that you all could have started picking up along the way. It's like, if people like, hello, like, is anything in there outside of the mechanics of a body? And then it went to heavy projection, you know, because these are individuals who maybe they're not self-reflective. So they are projecting their mental instability. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. It says heavy projection. They are asleep, unaware. They themselves are unaware of themselves. I didn't say they were not intelligent. It says they're unaware. Two different things. Because it's like dead, just dead. And isn't that weird? Like, that's weird. That's like it's like somebody's saying they're in danger. And they're trying to explain that. And did I tell y'all people are going to tell you who they are one way or the other, even if they don't think they are? And they do. It says over half of an apartment complex residence is involved, and they are. Yes, they are. This is why they be sashaying a whole ass as I speak. As I speak. This very day. Yeah. Okay, and they are, because these are ones that either it's a few factors that their participation is here. Okay, maybe they're not all connected to the same link, but maybe a lot of them are, because if they join this cult that's represented by your relatives and your exes, because for some of you that's what this is. Heather, why Heather keep coming out every time? I'm like, I don't even know. Like, that's not a name that I would normally see a lot. That's why I'm like, who is Heather? And who's the fuck is Carol, bitch? Who are these people? I mean, I have a sibling, but they don't go by it. I mean, you see what I'm saying? I have a sibling, their first name, but they never really go by that. That's the reason why that's not something that's registering, because it's like they don't go by that. They go by the middle name. Okay, I have Mark again, and Lou. Who the fuck is Louis? Louis or Louis? Louie. Louis. I don't know if that's supposed to be short for a longer name. Who that? I mean, because I know James. I know, like, there's certain names that I know of connected to my estranged family that I am personally uh, familiar with. You see what I'm saying? On my side, I don't know about y'all, but on my side, like, I remember a James, I remember a Tony, I remember certain names. Okay. What else here? Showed and committed criminal. Then I can't even say this shit. It's like they didn't commit crimes. Good gravy. Ooh, I have a 409 number that could have been involved, and then I have a yeah, these are the people who did decide to go for the cult, the initiations, and they had to sacrifice a relative as a part of it. But the deal was that they will join with scapegoating the collective. Okay, that would be a part of the whole deal, that they'll all basically scapegoat it onto the Honorable Feminine. They're going to get some part of some kind of insurance money that's to be had as well. Wow, yo. These are people that, are you kidding? Oh, come on. Somebody, this keeps coming out. Somebody said, I can't stand this karmic wench. I regret fucking with her. Woo, child. I can only imagine. It says fucking officials to put spells on them. It could be an official that's, oh. Well, if they mad, then whatever this is, then they mad. Okay. Corrupt cop, PI, security. Good gravy. Secret society. Rico case. Texas PCX, whatever that is. Trying to hide evidence. Travels. Cult leader. Okay. Again, heavy projection. So this is what they did, is they got a lot of people to, you see that? So this is why this thing has compiled, because initially it's the relatives. Okay, that's the core, the relatives with corrupt deep state, whatever you want to call it. Okay, but initially there, but it morphs. The head person got kicked out of something at some point along the journey that they were originally doing things with and for. These groups, some of them had proper instruction, balance, and they made a judgment call. Okay, because they don't have nothing to prove. The thing about, even when you're dealing with these types of shit, when you really, really, really legit and you got your establishment, you ain't trying to prove shit. You know what I'm saying? It comes down to the ledger for you. And you start counting up the costs. And if there's casualties that was not a part of your contingency plan, you sit and you weigh and you look at everything. And then you'll look at your guidance. You'll use your giftings and tap in. And if there's any ancestors or any higher ranks of energies to present, you'll take that and go, okay, this has come through. This has been revealed about that. This is that. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and cut our losses here. And you see how technical? And we're just going to move on. We don't have anything to prove. We don't have anything to prove here. We know what we're doing. We know who we are. We're established. And we don't have anything to prove. We're going to nip this in the butt before more of our relatives kicks the bucket that we don't want kicking the bucket. Not, not the ones that we didn't sacrifice. Okay? We're going to go ahead and nip this in the bud before maybe even we become vulnerable, okay? Too much exposure. So we're just going to leave this alone. Okay? This energy decided they're going to just step off and start their own crew. And that's what they did. Okay? And all of these people are possibly very similar to them because, again, it's an energy. So this is how they multiplied themselves. You see that? This is how they multiply themselves where the collective is without actually having to be there all the time. They do frequent here, though. At least they did. Bet you they didn't think of that. They do frequent here. But this is how to plummet the collective with their minions, for lack of better words. Their minions, their flying monkeys. And that is actually a clinical term, by the way, for those of you who come on here at some point and you think this is something I'm just being sassy. Nah, put in the Google engine search box. Flying monkeys. So they're just like them, which means this is why you and your children get all this heavy, you sensing all this excessive, heavy projection. Their mental illness, they're projecting. They're calling you crazy while they get together to stalk you. Why they attempt to get you caught up in trouble, because since you're not a criminal, they're trying to fucking make you one. They're all frustrated. Why? What does it say? They're frustrated because they might what? They might not get out. What the hell? Keep trying to entrap. Let's see what they're frustrated about. Okay, and then we're gonna just go from there. Good gravy, but that's the whole shit here. They didn't have no regard. Man. But you crazy. You special. You mean, collective. You mean. You mean. You extra. You special. You're all these things. And it ain't you doing all the shit that they are doing. Fascinating. Fascinating. You ain't sitting up there going to town on somebody's kid in some weird corner somewhere. You're going to town on some disabled motherfucker somewhere. You ain't the retarded, degenerate cunt that's sitting up there doing that kind of sicko shit. Okay, so this is a situation where it goes wrong for everybody. So, because this came out the other day, masculines, karmics, their lovers, their mates, baby mamas, etc. They were all cheating on these men. Isn't it funny how they were cheating on these men, y'all, in retrospect? Because I bet you they told all these men that the Honorable Feminine was a whore and that she was cheating. How much you want to bet? Bet your bottom dollar. Bet your bottom dollar that's what the fuck they were saying. It says plotting, using him. And then like the joke is, but he was doing it. So they were like begets like. Because it says the joke is he's using them. Oof. And this possibly pissed them off. Once again, leading to their army of narcs to really unite because, yeah, we're users, but how dare you use us? You see all this nonsense? It's like they're everybody in on the toxic shit. Hashtag we're the misfits. Okay? Common goal, we hate Honorable Feminine. And then playing each other. And then be mad when the masculine, whoever these masculines is, must have trumped them or something like that. They must have, the masculine must, I'm sorry. Oof. See? Ooh, that, ouch. He must have outmaneuvered them. And that pissed them off. You see, can you see where this made them more infuriated? He outmaneuvered them and they may feel some kind of way. Okay, it says karmic women stalking this Honorable Feminists will regret this big time. Wait for it. And this, you know, the head honcho, your relatives here, the sicko thing about this shit, they don't care about none of these people whatsoever. And that's the saddest statement I've made in this reading. Because they don't. That's the truth. People giving you gifts and flattery does not mean they care. They don't. Because see, a lot of them know full well what's happening. They also know, because they have a death wish. They also know. They know. And at the end of the day, they'll take anyone out necessary. And since people are all too willing to get their hands dirty, it makes it all too much more easier for them to scapegoat you. Same way they did the target that they sent you for, honey. Yeah. Okay, feminine. It says here, you're not toxic. You're just not stupid. And this is what they're frustrated about. Because it says they're all frustrated. Maybe you're proving it. Because they keep trying so hard to trigger you. And when you have emotional reactions, you know, they lean strong into it. Okay, to people who are, once again, ignorant. Okay, people who don't have depth and will just look at that and go, oh, yeah, I see what you're talking about. You sitting there talking to the killer and shit. Oh, yeah, I see what you're You're talking to the pedophile. You're talking to the energetic rapist. You're sitting there talking to the ones who was, nigga, please. You're talking to the incubus, the succubus. That ain't got now moral code, what the fuck soever. Yeah. Again, you've been working hard, collecting. These people use your information to fuck your life, to get you caught up, because it says you're not toxic, you're not stupid. You've been clearing your path, unbound, unstoppable, unafraid, undeniable. So they needed an army of narcissists. They needed to bring in the big guns that was stupid enough to use their badges, their leadership, their access to government shit. that was willing to compromise everything so that they can be infiltrated all in your shit. It's unnatural. All in your devices, your accounts, your children's shit. That's fucking unnatural. It's nasty. It's an entitlement to which, you know, because they dumb as fuck. You want to know why I say that? See, I'm not talking about the intelligence that they have managed to live on. The reason why I say that, you want to know? Why do they need to know what feminine knows? See, for feminine to not be shit, according to all of them, for her to not be shit, to not know shit that ain't about shit, they sure need to know what the fuck she with. Yeah, your creative expression, clearing trauma. You used that and it fell on top of my phone. They didn't like that shit. You used it, said, fuck it. It is what it is. I'm going to capitalize on this grotesque, inhumane, embarrassment to the country, injustices that has happened to my son and me. Your daughter, your son, your children. Because it should be a fucking embarrassment to the damn country. As we want to represent leadership in the world's greatest leaders. The kind of shit we're willing to do for our personal hang-ups. And entitlement. This should be an embarrassment. You got people rolling around with America's stalking people. It's like you're an embarrassment to your country. You're an embarrassment. You're rolling around with your so-called pride, with your killers and your stalkers and your pedophiles, and you're discriminatory and you're prejudiced and you're entitled and you're abusive. But you want to lead the world on how to treat their citizens. You're money hungry, you're greedy, you'll still do anything for it. And it came out, yeah, somebody's going to regret something. Somebody could be getting in trouble here. Maybe they got into some kind of trouble and so they decided to, okay, I can't stalk them, so I'm going to stalk them by proxy. Okay, well, I'll just hire some people. I'll just befriend some people. I'll get close enough so that way I can't get accused. I can't get in trouble. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Now, nobody will be able to say they caught me within a certain amount of feet. Meanwhile, right upstairs above, meanwhile, on the same property. This is when they decided to steal from you, even more so than they already have. It has haters, ops, spies, liars, cheaters, con artists, criminals, drug addicts, damn, unbalanced zealots, lose. It fell on top of the phone, but it flipped reverse. So these are people who, you know, they are sore losers, or they refuse to let something go and accept something for what it was. And so this could very well where they extended their theft. Okay. Stealing your creativity, your ideas, your even, you know, if your phones are hacked or cloned or whatever, you know, your content and putting it other places, like just doing all sorts of shit to steal. Smarty Smartersons from Smartest Smartinsville that knows everything. They know everything. Yet. Also, this could be a part of trying to hold on to something. Yeah. So I have feminine is recognized in the ethers. This came out earlier. Ooh, wee, child, nigga. I told you, two men from feminist's past. There it is. I told you. It says two men, and it's went to reverse. So something happened with these two men. It says two men from the feminine's past used feminist energy with the karmics. Both are or will pay for it. So both of them did. And maybe these two are ones who joined in, because when you're not reflective, you don't sit there and see that nigga. For real, nigga. For real. We are okay, we gonna do that. We gonna pretend. Okay. We gonna pretend like you know that you don't know that you had ill will and hidden dishonor from the beginning, and that you did this person shitty. We gonna pretend like that didn't happen, and we gonna just act like we mad. That's what we gonna do. We gonna pretend that it's her fault. It's her fault. Okay. But so they could have been a part of the theft. Remember, we're talking about people who use feminist information. These are people who are bothered by your communication. Or they could have, it says feminine knows how to communicate in a healthy and effective manner. The karmics, not so much. Yeah, they're mad about something that you are ricocheting because you're not going to accept your collective is like, this is gonna be DEFCON 5. Cause fuck it. Nope. They really had you fucked up. It's like, fuck it. You thought this is sorry, go report to your headmasters that this ain't gonna be as easy as you thought. Let's fast forward so I can get going. Been pushing out these readings. Been doing some research in the background, so I'm trying to push everything in. And yeah, that's how it's gonna be for the rest of the year. I can see that. Getting in the background doing some stuff. Because that's what this was, setting, basically creating a cult town to terrorize feminine, to steal from them and entrap them and simultaneously hide their hand, and then still look like they're some Puritans and shit. Let's fast forward. So, these people have been hell-bent on entrapping and setting up collectives. This is mental illness, by the way. I really hope the universe take a better look, a stronger and a deeper and a more broader look at what we're calling that, because it seems like people don't know how to classify abuse. They don't know how to discern it. They don't know anything about all of these various different types of personality disorders that manifest as people who can look very pristine and polished and put together and mannered and well kept. And, and so it's just being read or analyzed and judged as, well, this must be the person who is sound of mind. They have a house, they have a vehicle, they have a support system, they have a pattern and a reputation of being philanthropic, and they got the award for being the best black woman in Vegas. They have they gave a false testimony and they finna get in trouble for it. And it's a family member, 14. Yep. It's a family member. This could have happened on the 14th of any given month. Okay. It could have happened on the 5th of a given month. It could have happened in the month of May. Okay. But out of jealousy, false testimony. Because they want to keep living at 5-5, because they want to keep having this unrestrained living. They want to keep living off of whatever is supposed to be of the collectives and keep doing the things that they have been doing. Yeah, they want it says divine blessings, but blasphemy is coming in the reverse. Yeah, they gave some kind of false testimony. Could have been claiming with this karmic number. They could have been claiming you all were blasphemic, Good gravy. But see, now this is going to challenge the country, because at the end of the day, liberty and freedom and justice for all. First Amendment's supposed to not lean on to what you all like. It says freedom. And that means just the fuck that. Now, the fascinating thing is the ones that are trying to perpetrate themselves as Bible believing, woo-de-woo, are the ones that's blasphemy. You heard that correctly. Because they're doing detestable things in secret. That's blasphemous to nature, nigga. You're sitting here, like I said, going to town on disabled people who can't do nothing but so terrorizing them, and you're supposed to be looked at as fucking intelligent. Fucking superior? Really? Looked at as godly? For real? preying on the weak and feeble, preying on people who are sick, who don't have anything. You're supposed to be you're honorable. You're something the world should want to be. You're something the world should want to look up to. Sending death and entities to people and then playing like you blind and don't know nothing about it. Negro, please. Patience here. Yeah. Redemption. Yeah, they gave a false testimony here to save themselves, to get themselves out of something. Or what could have happened is some of these men, because like I said, they played each other, these men could have admitted that they gave a false testimony and that it was for their family or somebody's family here with 14. This could be what they're frustrated about. They're under judgment. 20. To take something that belonged to somebody else's. To block it, to stop it. They could have lied about how you became whatever you became or whatever was happening to make people seem some kind of way. But it's definitely a confession here. And that could be what ends up happening with these two men that were a part of it. Yeah, and then here we have rage. These people were full of rage. They did all of this. Somebody could have said that this was done just all out of sheer hate. This is just, that's just the bottom line, that this is just anger and rage, period. Just disguised as we saved, disguised as we are Christian, disguised as this is blasphemous, disguised as we think they're doing something wrong, disguised as all these other things, that it was just rage because the collective have mental force. Meaning, mental force simply meaning you could be smart, you can be intelligent, and when people are used to getting shit over really easily without a question, then this is to them a violation. This is, you see what I'm saying? So out of rage that this whole let's go to the town and create a cult and have them torturing her and or him in this perspective isolated place, and nobody will know it and nobody will believe it when they try to seek help. That's why some of these organizations is going to be in trouble, because if the collective would reach out and do this and this and they just look glazed over. They just look glazed over by us. Oh yeah, we don't need that. You know what do you mean? So if I die and if my kid dies, then is that what you're going to tell the lieutenant? Because chances are it's a whole town of people that's stalking and they feel some kind of way. But see, sometimes, like stalking in social media as well, you know, sometimes things have to happen like that though, because people are pretending. They're pretending. They're acting like they're not allowing their personal stuff to affect their professional judgments. Yeah, the criminal enterprise. There it is. There it is. Somebody snitched on, or is possibly as I'm talking, or they did it already. It's done. Because they could have got themselves in trouble or something like that. Something happened. something happened? The collective was, you were in the process of getting your, if you want to say blessings, okay? People were lying on you. You were getting, redemption, second chances. I have 1420. This could have been interesting. But, creating a new beginning for yourself, building, you know what I'm saying? In spite of all of these things. And here come these criminal enterprises. 24. Protection in the reverse. To breach you. To breach you. To tap into your fountain of wisdom and to breach you. To breach your protection. Because you could have been guarded. Collective, you could have been very much guarded, but not for the reasons that people thought you were guarded. You were guarded rightfully so, correctly so. Obvious is coming out in the wash. Correctly so. You have people obsessed with you. Relatives, exes, for all kinds of reasons. Obsessed with hurting you, just obsessed. And so you could have been guarded as you are relocated because you're like, I'm trying to rebuild. My head is spinning. And I have an adult kid that I got to tend to and make sense of the fact that ain't shit here. And, all that. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to make miracles happen in the land of nothing. Yeah, malevolent behavior. They're toxic as fuck. I have 2 6s. So again, at least 2 people of your past. 666 is Earth, relatives, family, exes. Malevolent behavior. Political authority. These people could have even rebelled against some kind of a political authority that, you could have rebelled against toxic political authority, but somebody rebelled against maybe authority that says this needs to stop, like malevolent behavior. Yeah. Earth angel says patience, number 7, somebody healing, somebody that's trying to rebalance their lives and but they so saved as. People be full of shit. Any excuse to be fucked up. Unnatural passion. Did not say this was unnatural. Somebody could be 61. This is unfucking natural. Affinity and friendship is, okay, in the reverse. It's unnatural. These people did not want you to have anything. And this is an unnatural passion. And some kind of addiction to you not having anything in anybody collective. And so a part of that whole campaign is ruin everything. Your credit, use your name without your permission, use you and your children's personal identifications and commit all sorts of manner of evil. Because in the U.S., the way it works is everything is what? Credit-based, and everything else is what? Reference-based. And so if they could manage to fuck up your credit and your credibility, then there you have it. And people wondering why all sorts of tornadoes and hurricanes is coming into their life, like this is science. Yeah, fountain of wisdom. They did not like your fountain of wisdom. They did not. They wanted you to have unhappy voyages. They wanted to make money off of your wisdom, okay, while creating, yeah, cowardly actions. Motherfuckers was cowards. That's what the cards, oh, nigga. Oh. Cowardly, theft and destruction. Didn't I say it? Cowardly actions, theft and destruction, and jealousy, falsehood, impossible plans. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, the fuck. This is what these people did. Cowardly. And collective. Some of them thought that you would be a coward. Oops, that's they bad. Oopsie. They're bad. But see, I think it's sad that, you know, even if somebody were to think somebody, let's say they thought somebody was timid, shy and afraid, it's still just yet another layer of a reveal of what, like I said, these predatory type of people. It's still a reveal, no matter how you flip the pancake. Okay, so once again, you just get your rocks off on, you know what I'm saying, fucking with people that you think can't fuck with you. So you ain't as bad as you acting then. Because you only into fucking with motherfuckers you think ain't got nobody, don't know nothing, that they're too sick, old, weak, or feeble to do anything. And that's how you feel powerful. I be telling people this all the time. I guarantee you, if you want to pull this to the physical, since people can relate to like the physical shit, pull this to a physical. Let's say there's somebody that's always going around bullying somebody, like physically, tangibly, literally, and physically, that they are always going around picking fights. They just loose cannon, always going somewhere so they can fight, bitch. You know, picking fights. You know what I'm saying? To lay hands on people and yada yada. And they notorious for it, and they got everybody scared and people, you know, afraid of them, walk the other side of this, you know. Right? Okay. Now, that same person who have a tendency to be like that, I guarantee you, if, let's say they're about 6'2", 200 pounds, blase, blase. And let's say the next person that they try to come up on is matching them or above. They ain't gonna fuck with them, guarantee you. Guarantee you. They gonna look the other way. They gonna play stupid. They gonna pretend like they're having a good day that day. Whatever. All of a sudden, all that rage that they just needed to get off on people, all of a sudden, it's in check. It ain't in check when it's some little scraggly motherfucker there who look like they could use, you know what I'm saying, a good meal. It ain't there all of a sudden they badass. They want to huff and puff and be loud and stomp around and, you know what I'm saying? flexing in front of their little friends and shit. What's gonna happen to these people? Because I think this is some of what they're trying to hide. I think all of this is wrapped in together. Okay, it's kind of connected to the inheritance, the home, whatever, on top of the false documents and trying to make it seem like you're like it's connected. Okay, and what's gonna happen to these motherfuckers? It's got plugged in, internet connected in the reverse. Cleansing. They trying to what? They trying to what? Silence non-action. People may cut off communication. They may be trying to get rid of devices and any communications with them on the internet or any of the stuff that's been, you see what I'm saying, that they've been utilizing. Because this is people that's been in your internet and doing telepathic, sending telepathic telepathic communication and shit. That ain't what they finna do. Somebody's gonna get the message. You better stop. Searching online, looking for records. And fuck your life up indefinitely. You're already in trouble. It's supposed to be irreparably so in a minute. Searching online, looking for info, and then negotiation, bargaining, begging, reverse. What's going to happen here? I'm going to search online. 2 or more people. What's going to end up happening to them? Give me a few more and we'll get some layers. There's the meeting, so I want to know what's going to happen with that. There's the... Oh, shit. I told y'all. See, I should leave it on that by itself because it's done, daughter. It's here. It's here. Remember earlier I said they were hiding evidence, but it had ... something like that. They're hiding evidence ... but it's too late, or something that said but it's too late, or something. There's already proof. Somebody, because I got receipt proof in the upright. Somebody's taking action. I had pause in the reverse. Somebody's taking action. They said, oh, hell no, nigga, you got me fucked up. This is a tragedy. Something's going to end the tragedy for these people. For trying to cause you tragedy. This was a tragedy, what they have done to you guys and your children. And the United States of America should be ashamed and embarrassed. The leaders should be ashamed and embarrassed. All these so-called clergies and all of this so-called motherfucker, all these motherfuckers should be ashamed and embarrassed. What they was willing to do just so they can be praised and worshiped. What they were willing to do just so that they can have some money. What they were willing to do just because their little feelings is hurt. Yeah, social media. Told you. That people have been, it says social media, fake profile hiding, access is granted. Maybe that's being investigated. I didn't even bring in that element. Social media. Okay, what else here? These people wanted y'all, they wanted y'all to be beggars. You know what I'm trying to say? That's a sad, these motherfuckers are sad. But they so caring though, huh? They loving and caring and sweet and sensitive and discerning and full of the fruit of the spirit. I have Five of Pentacles here, and it should have been in this deck. So what's going to end up happening? These are also people that have been trying to get you off of line forever. This has been a part of the campaign. This is why you had so much shadow banning and putting on watch list, because they trying to stop the knowledge and the information from going forward to people. And this is why they've been trying to work so hard to create issues, cause violations, have people to reporting videos. You know, hell, they even did that on Facebook. And I haven't even really got good and started on Facebook, truth be told, because I don't even roll with Facebook really like that no more. So I decided that I was going to come out. If I'm being stalked like that anyway, if I'm already compromised, then I might as well come out. That's how I feel. And that this is how I'm going to make it a living nightmare for all of these stalkers. Some of them is either about to be cut out. They could be possibly going to lose their social media. If these people have something going here with this Five of Pentacles. So they keep trying to take from the collective. They keep stealing your shit. They keep trying to get you banned. They keep trying to create issues with that because you're telling the truth about the history. The past happened today, back to back. Somebody's going to tell people about what this person or people have been doing. They may be trying to still, of course, make you look in a certain light. Oh, they have a history of... No, we don't. No, we do not. That is erroneous. These people have a history. And if y'all would learn how to put your critical thinking hat and investigative skills on, you might find something out. They have a history of needing, no, we have a history of people sabotaging us. And then when we seek help, like everybody else feels so entitled to get the motherfuckers who seem and talk and act like they got it so together, but they're the ones that's constantly in everybody's fucking pocket. They have a history of going off on their own. Yeah, well, we have a history of running from toxicity until we can figure out what the hell is going on. And now we see full well why the fuck we have a history of leaving motherfuckers behind, because they were a part of our demise the entire time. Agreement compromise is going in the reverse. Obsession is in reverse. So what's going to end up happening is they're not going to be able to get somebody. There's somebody keeping notes. They're taking action. Somebody's going to take action because it's got pause in reverse. Somebody's going to just take action. They're not waiting. They're not compromising. They're not, and this could be y'all too, because you're not waiting. You're not compromising. You're reaching out. You say, fuck that. The past happened. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of these weirdos. I am tired of this shit. I'm finna to light it up. These people keep infiltrating my life, and I'm not going to keep at this bullshit. I'm not going to keep at this starting over again and over again and over again without bringing motherfuckers the fuck down. They're going to learn today. We're not doing that. We have the capabilities because we are. We have the capabilities and these motherfuckers know it. But that's why they hoover us like the hunchback of Notre Dame, like a weirdo. Hoovering us around and shit. We ain't doing that this time. We gonna rebuild. We rebuilding, no doubt. But not without taking some shit motherfuckers out. Not without that. Not without that. Not this time. Not this time. We tried the nice way. We tried the stoic and the gracious approach of just go ahead and take the loss and just move on and build again. It's okay. Just, they need it. They apparently need it so bad. Just take the loss. And just move on and build again. Well, that's not going to be the permanent fix in this case. In this case, the roots need to be dealt with. Because again, these are people infiltrating, following. So not without taking a few motherfuckers out with us. Okay, very well. We're going to move on. We're going to take our losses. Not a problem. We're going to rebuild. Not a problem. But enough. Yeah, you all facing your fears. Enough, as I saw anxiety, scared, and reverse, irreconcilable differences in the upright, poison, toxic, unhealthy behaviors and people, committed in the reverse. Good gracious. Anxiety in the reverse, synchronicity in the upright, and there's a conversation being had. Conversation getting on the same page. Like they don't want something no more. There's gossip here about this jealousy, this petty, this envy. Twin flame. Lost, ghosted, blocked, cut off, and here's the receipts. There's the receipts. Somebody's filing some documents or taking it to court. Whatever this legal court shit, yes. This false documents here. Well, I told y'all the proof was going to come out. Told you. Let me keep on moving. Let's just keep on moving. What's going to happen to these people that's persisting in this sicko Freddy Krueger, Jason, Texas Chainsaw Massacre? So that's what they are. Courthouse. Oh, 23-5. I told y'all, there it is. They fenced it. Somebody finna lose all they shit. Wealthy man went into the reverse. Either a wealthy man finna lose all they shit, all of it. Either they finna lose all their shit, or somebody is fencing to lose this wealthy man. Okay, or a wealthy man that ends up losing is going to go to court or something because they're going to be, what's this great fortune here? I told you, adjudication going into the reverse. Courthouse, adjudication. These people trying to obstruct justice. What we have here? They're trying to obstruct justice. I see it. I saw it. Okay, here's an official person, privileged lady in the reverse. Official person may step in and they may get this house taken from them. Or this could be about a stolen house. This could be about what they have what they've been continuing to do to disrupt you all. Because this has been an assault on the collectives and their children's ability to stabilize. Thief, I told you. Ooh. This could be somebody's work. There's some kind of I told you, some higher order is coming in here. told somebody to stop somebody from working their occupation or to steal their work, their ideas. And yeah, they're going into poverty for this theft, for hijacking somebody's unexpected income. Yep. They hijacked it. Somebody else's unexpected shit. They stole it. They worked with judicial system, the courts and all of that in order to hijack a house and some money. Okay. And somebody did this in order to free themselves, possibly in the past. This is going, somebody's going to get out of jail. Something's going to be made clear about this situation. Like I said, we do have possibly somebody telling the gift in the reverse. They, yep, they about to be in despair. Because they hijacked something. All of these people. They got a bunch of impoverished people to be thieves. I'm going to show you. It's what they did. And to keep you in a state of poverty. So they used government and officials and judicial systems and paperwork and all of those things and people who had connections with all of that stuff in order to do it. This is their end. They wanted you in this endless state of despair that they have created. This has been a tragedy that they're going to live out. Every last one of them are going to live this out. They like creating tragedies they should live. It's main male in the reverse. They want to get off on creating tragedies, then that they gonna have their version, their movie here. This is what they get off on. They're not expecting it though, in the reverse. They don't see it coming. Journey. They're not expecting somebody to grow up. They're not expecting a mature man to do something. I had mature man and mature woman. They're not expecting something. Nobody is seeing something, not even the collective. Courtship is in the reverse. Okay, this is to do with some kind of relationship is about to be over and they maybe not see it coming yet. Yeah, there's a change here. Somebody's going to do the honorable thing. Somebody's going to do the honorable thing because somebody realized something was not right about somebody was childish, an adult child, or what somebody, the innocence that they took away from a child, or what they hid here with that 18. The bitches want to die. It's not going to be my problem. Uh-huh. Religion and general conflicts. This is going to come out that these people, a part of what they did is they came in strongly to use religious and general conflicts with 15 energy, trying to act like the collective was toxic or something like that. But these are the people that are obsessed with religious and general conflicts, and they deal with lust and weak-willed individuals here. Yeah, lust and weak-willed. Purification in the reverse. They really don't know nothing about purification or purity. They just use religious and general conflicts, claiming that shit is toxic when their behavior is already proven what's impure. It's unnatural to do the things that they're doing, but they have no wherewithal whatsoever. None. And what this cult, this coven, these leaders that recruited all these people in this state that you all are in, this is essentially what they did. They appealed to the lust and the weak wills of people. And they appealed to religion and general conflicts in order to get this. And they're going to pay for it. Yep, did I say pay for it? Didn't I say pay for it? I had 15 and 18 justice. I was asking what is going to happen. Now justice is coming in the upright for the justice that came in the reverse. Because we had adjudication in reverse because they was obstructing justice. And it could have been corrupt, again, officials too. That was hiding this scandal. 18, they were hiding it because of religious and general conflicts. And they're going to have to suffer some criticism for this. Because that's not how you're supposed to be running the country. That's not how you're supposed to be running your particular department. With whatever this is you got, that's not how that's supposed to be going. Ambition. Yeah, because these people was ambitious to try to stop the light of understanding of a situation. And this is going to be shown with the 6 energy, the past, 618, 6. This could have happened at 618. Disability and immorality, absolutely. So yeah, what they were doing to somebody disabled. And then basically trying to say you all are immoral, or what they do to disabled people and people who they think are immoral based on their belief systems. And they wanted to get luxury off of the disabled. Again, this is supposed to come out. There's going to be justice for, you know, basically being predators. Preying on people who don't have nothing or don't have no support. That's, man, I'm done. I'm done, nigga. I don't got no respect for this shit. I'm done. I'm so done. Ain't nothing cute about none of this shit. And I'm not even just talking about the collective. You all, I'm not talking about just feminine, her children. I'm just saying, because this is bigger than that. This ain't cute. This is not cute at all. This is not something that no one living with a heartbeat and a heart chakra should be proud of. Because they want a luxurious life, lazy fuck. All for the blood in the back of somebody else, though. Longevity. Yeah, they have been doing this for a long time. So the catastrophe and haze trying to, yeah, trying to stop spiritual communication, the catastrophe, or you from speaking about the catastrophes here, the ignorance is going into the reverse. So this is going to be made understood. Yes, spiritual communication. And then it has, like I say, ignorance is in the reverse. Okay? You all have longevity and spiritual communication, but this is also going to be brought out, the justice here, for what people do to folks who don't believe like them, people that's disabled, you know, all of these things. They use that as their agenda, as their meal ticket, their gravy train. Yeah, here's some healing is coming in. Patience. This is also family. They tried to project onto you that you were lazy. It's these criminals that's lazy. It's them. Black magic, there it is. It actually says that on the card. I'm going to rephrase that to toxic magic or baneful magic. And then spiritual wisdom in the reverse. These people did not have any spiritual wisdom, and they also thought that the collective would not ever have any wisdom about what was actually happening to them, what was causing all of these various different things. And with that being said, most of humanity will never, okay? And it's because the way it manifests. It's not like these things come and manifest and say, hello, I'm baneful magic that was done to you by the retard down the street, and I am here to make you feel very, very tired, unusually so. And so go ahead and do a clearing on yourself because I am baneful magic. It doesn't come like that. It doesn't come like that. You know, it comes in the form of looking like standard, just general shit that nobody's going to really question, maybe until way late, because it takes, you know, it's energy first. It's energy manipulation, frequency, vibrational manipulation. And those who know about that know full well what I am talking about. So it's to alter that person, but the benefit of it is the person's just going to lean into it. They're not going to think nothing of it. They're just going to feel like they're just cursed. You ain't cursed. You have people playing in your energy. The kid ain't cursed. You had sickos playing in their energy. Add to that putting poison in shit and obstructing environments to expose them to toxins. You weren't lazy. You had people making you sick and tired. You have people putting shit to make you lethargic, raping you in your sleep and your kids, and doing all kind of detestable, god-awful shit that they don't sing about when they take their whole ass to church. Accusing the collective. They're into black magic. No ho, you. We are into defense. We will handle you if we need to. Yeah, these people got addictions. They're addicted. Yeah, they use vices and addictions and strategies. And this was an issue of they didn't like your intellectual lucidity. So these people wanted shit to be hard for you, wanted to restrain you, wanted to compromise you. And they could have been addicted to your healing energies with the patience here. Because I got spiritual communication, patience, and vice. False testimony. And that's why they wanted to testify against you. To say you were sick. Oh yeah, they're crazy. Look at their spiritual. They're crazy. They're talking about their, star seed, and they're crazy. These hoes is sacrificing chickens, unbeknownst to you. Unbeknownst to you. They're crazy. Oh my God. They're just, the devil really just got them. Oh my gosh. And we're just, they gonna fry for that too. Now I'm enjoying when I get that information. They gonna fry for that. How you a whole toxic witch and got the nerve to be sitting up somewhere talking about how you a whole toxic witch? A whole full-fledged advanced one at that. How you gonna be a whole one of those? And be somewhere talking. They're just. Yeah, you guys were doing the inner and the outer work here. Protection of criminals is going into the reverse. Ooh-wee. So what's finna happen is some people finna get out that shit and start doing their inner and outer work, and they're done. These people finna be done for. Slavery and bondage. Realize that these people get you in slavery and bondage. Control freaks. False promises. They could have, again, when they were doing shit to you all, see, this is the sicko part. This is why everybody got to go on that perspective. They sit on that wheel. Because if they was doing shit to you and your kids and fucking with you to where you couldn't stabilize. Sabotaging you in the background with all sorts of shit. You couldn't stabilize. So of course you can't hold up to nothing. You are barely been able to hold up to your fucking life. Ignorant motherfuckers. It's always the people who ain't been through shit too that's talk the most trash sometimes. They came out of their mother's hoo-ha. And got the family shit, you know what I'm saying? Woo. And they don't know nothing about no real shit. These people were cruel to y'all. They were cruel. And they could have tried to act like the collective was cruel here because you all start talking about it. And you stop being silent. And you stop pretending like it's okay. You stop pretending like you being abused and violated should be something looked at as just everybody have problems. Everybody has struggles and obstacles. Wanted you to keep thinking it's just life. This shit ain't just life. This shit is some sicko wacko shit. War and strife on the phone. They didn't like what you got to say on the phone. It fell on my phone. False testimony. They said you was lying, but they was lying. Criminal enterprises and false testimonies. And they got to reap this fruit. Extreme. Yeah, these are extremes. These are radicals. Extreme opposites or opposing factions. Jealousy. I was waiting for it. I'm like, come on, let's get to the root. Let's get to the root. Let's just go on ahead. Just get past the fluff and smoke and mirrors and fluff and causes and shit. Jealousy. Black magic. There it is. That's the bottom line. Cut through the chase. They didn't want you to have any victory and success out of jealousy because of your spiritual wisdom. And this jealousy is going to cost them a loss here. Victory in the reverse, 11. It's going to cost them the loss of a lifetime because of their cruelty. So, yep, because of their cruelty, they're going to reap some fucking cruelty. It says love and submission here is going in the reverse. So these people are about to reap this cruelty and some criticisms that they caused you all over and over and over and over and over. Somebody was like, I'm never going to quit, so they're never going to get out of getting cruelty. Somebody was mad that somebody else made them a false promise through addiction. But once again, all of this blame shifting onto the collective is not acceptable. And they will be dealt with. Criticizing y'all out of greed. These people's greedy and cruel nature is going to go on front page. Their falsehood. 38. The criminal enterprise. 64, breaking down to a 10. Their anger problems, rage. And they turned it into some type of a cause. But there's some energies coming through. They're going to have to reap all the same shit. Cruelty, criticism, falsehood, rage. That's what they pushed on y'all. They got all these people together to be enraged. That's sicko. They rallied whole cities, whole states, and then people got the nerve to wonder why y'all enraged. Got the nerve. That whole place, that ain't natural. You go to live somewhere, you trying to live your life like every other person there. That shit ain't natural. And then brushed off. You know, everybody's got problems. Okay, I hope you remember that. Because one day, I almost can guarantee you, you will be having this conversation before you leave. And I hope it's going to be enough for you. Somebody giving you a PowerPoint presentation about how to problem solve. Hope it's going to be enough. Yes, since they won't change, they're about to lose their balance. Two of Pentacles is going into the reverse, and the Star is going into reverse. Since they're not going to change with trying to cause you all to get sick, or trying to, yeah, challenge your money or cause you to, yeah. Then, so what's going to happen is somebody's about to get sick. Possibly they're going to end up getting with somebody and maybe getting something, or they're not going to get their hopes, goals, dreams, and aspirations with the Star. And the reverse, what's about to happen? They won't change. And yeah, it says change in the reverse, the Star and the reverse. They're not going to change. Knight of Swords in reverse, or something is about to force them. Somebody's going to jail. Didn't I say it? Or they're gonna die or something, because I got the Hangman. They're not going to stop trying to sacrifice you, collective, or your children. So something is going to grab them. For some of you, something's going to grab these people one way or the other. Because they think they're so powerful. They think they're so slick. They think all these things. Something to hang that ass. Like, very well then. You don't understand the word no. Your mama, your daddy didn't teach it. Hell, they're probably a poor example of it, which is why you are what you are. No respect for boundaries. No respect for other people other than you and your little crew. What's about to happen? Knight of Swords is going into reverse. The Game Master, it says Game Master is going into reverse. Their game is about, ooh, Ace of Wands in the reverse. Ace of Wands in the reverse. Shit. Seven of Wands in the reverse. No protection. Valor. Valor is going in the reverse. Seven of Wands, they're losing their protection, and maybe they're not going to know it. Because Seven of Wands in the upright could represent a strong defense. It could represent protection. It could represent blocking things from getting to you, standing up for yourself. In the healthy sense, in the reverse, it can mean vulnerability, exposure. It could also mean open doors, you know, something opening. But in their case, if they try that, it's going to backfire because they don't learn their lesson. Page of Swords in the reverse. It's going to backfire. Valor is in the reverse. Maybe they're going to lose a whole group. You know, the ones who can come out of that. Because it's hard to come out of a narcissistic spell. It's not easy. It is not, I guarantee you. Until you're there, it's just not. It's not at all. It's hard. As they keep trying to steal from people and attacking people. Yep, look at that. Page of Swords. Trying to hide that they're doing it. They're under judgment. Hierophant is here. This obsession here. If this is a crooked politician or a crooked religious person, or they're not going to have, they're about to lose any kind of ranks, protections that they had. Seven of Wands reverse, Hierophant. Higher ranking energy coming in to put a stop to this shit. And possibly going to put some of these motherfuckers in isolation camp or something. Put them in an isolation tank. Fucking shit. Detox, decompress, get the things. Shit. Doing shit to people in secret. And then you want to talk, you sit here and talk some shit. Doing shit to a fucking sage. Doing shit to somebody who is actually self-aware and self-reflective and alone and going within and thinking that that shit is cute. Yeah, they're about to get ghosted and go through the dark night of the soul. Hanged Man, Hermit, Star reverse. That's when they're going to be praying to God. Mm-hmm. When they see they ain't got nobody to defend them, cover them, protect them, stand up for them, buffer shit for them, fashion and doctor up documents for them. Ooh, they make it. Okay, look. Hey, they going under judgment. I want to say, whatever they was trying to do to y'all collective, if this is what they was doing to y'all and shit, I don't know if y'all could see this is weird. Sacrificing y'all to these lizards and shit. Y'all should see that lizard looking thing over there, the reptilian bitch. Tying you and your kids down in a hole and shit. They asses is toast. Judgment in the reverse. They about to face their worst fears. And for some of you, they gonna end up in the position that they put you in. That's their judgment. They gonna end up in something just like that. And be crying, sorrow. So they're gonna be somewhere in sorrow. 3 of Swords. Tortured. For doing that to y'all. Losing life. Have somebody siphon the life out of them. Knight of Wands in the reverse. Emperor in reverse. Loss of control. They're gonna be at the mercy of a bully. For being narcissistic in secret and then using God and religion to do it. Oof. Ooh. Yeah, to get wins and victories and successes and attention. 10 of Pentacles is going into the reverse. They're going to lose their wealth. I told y'all. Because they were stealing other people's wealth. They were doing this for other people's legacies, other people's inheritances, things that were left and meant to and for other people. And they were offering a bunch of people, weak-willed, lust and weak-willed people to participate. And since that's what they did, Aries, Taurus, this is your end. They're about to get a message that their gain is going into the reverse. What they were willing to do to steal somebody else's gain, to block somebody else's business and wish fulfillment, what they were doing to maybe somebody that has somebody that's codependent upon them, like a disabled person. They're gonna get bad news for it. For causing you bad news. Ace of Wands, for trying to kill you, for trying to kill your children, for trying to siphon y'all's energy and shit, sacrificing you to the fucking Arconians, whatever the fuck they did. Aries, Leo, Sag. And they're about to lose whatever. Their offers are going to be rejected. Their giftings are going to be stripped. The universe ain't going to offer them nothing else but trash.